Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. I don't know, hosted by your two favorite brown girls, Sana and
Jackie.
Episode 49 crew.
Oh my
We're
God.
trying to work for something for 50.
Yes, we're trying to do something very fun for 50.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
You know, we will have the cake with the 5 followers.
Yes. Yeah, we'll write all your names, submit them.
And we thought we would start early with episode 49 with our actually biggest fan.
Yes.
Part of our 5.
Yes, part of our 5.
Biggest fan, watches every episode, texts about the episode.
Yes.
Text Jackie more.
Yeah, she's a ride or die. Welcome one of our best friends, Anna Carter, to the pod. Yay.
Welcome, Anna. Anna's coming live from, she's in Utah?
No.
Washington.
She's in Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
clearly need to catch up.
Yeah, you clearly need to catch up. No, I need to catch up too. But yes, we're so excited to have her. But before we get into it and all the good stuff, let's do weekend update.
All
So guess first. Anna, what did you get up to this weekend?
Oh boy. So I'm actually in my old childhood room. The lovely yellow walls are not my current style, but 13-year-old Anna picked this out. I've been helping my parents clean out our childhood home, and they're selling it. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bittersweet?
Bittersweet, really. Yeah, they divorced like a few years ago. Good thing. And
Needed to happen.
Needed to happen. We support.
Yeah, no. Divorce can be a very good thing.
It's true.
But it's just my dad is, they get older and it's time to downsize. So
Yeah.
Makes sense. We know that in our biz.
Yeah.
Well, my former biz.
Well, your former biz, former real estate agent over here.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. So it's just like a lot of packing, going through things.
so much packing. Sorry, I'm gonna put us on do not disturb.
No, you're fine.
For once in a while. So much packing, so much trash, so much junk. Oh my gosh. It's
can
like
only
40
imagine.
years worth of stuff. So
Yeah. That's a lot.
we had a big
Sweet of you.
garage sale.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that can be really fun though, because then you start and you like all these memories, like these core memories come back, and you're like, oh my God, remember this, and like, oh shoot, like this is where this is. Like it can be really fun.
I agree on
Yeah.
that.
Are your siblings there with
it's been
you?
fun. Yeah, so all 4 of us are here. My one brother lives in the area, so he's been in and out. But the rest of the 4 of us from out of town are here and just
Oh,
getting stuff done.
little reunion.
So,
Yeah.
how nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So is that what you're like? That's what you kind of focus on the entire weekend, type of thing.
yeah. I had planned to go home last night, and then this morning, and then this afternoon, and now I'm staying the night again, and I'll
It happens.
hopefully leave tomorrow.
Take it all in, the last moments.
Yeah, last moments. Say your
Yeah.
goodbyes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're gonna have a big bonfire after this.
Oh,
Take
that's
the
cute.
Yeah. You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl.
I love it.
So-
That's so cool, though.
I love
What a
that,
great way
too.
to like say goodbye to it. A lot of memories.
Yeah, it'll be fun. for sure.
Sana, what did you get up to?
I actually was in the Bay for a few days. I went to go see one of my really good friends, Saba, her husband, and her little girl, who has the same name as me. And I just take it
your
as she named her
namesake.
after me. So, my child.
We need another Sana in the world.
Yeah. So that was fun. Had a really good time. First time in Yountville, as I say it?
Yountville,
Yountville.
yeah.
Sorry, it sounds a little fancier when you say
It's
it.
your old stomping grounds, Anna.
It's just north of Napa, right?
Yeah. Is it Yountville?
Yeah.
Yountville. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love it's so cute. Went to the Restoration Hardware restaurant.
Ugh.
Gorgeous. Food was so good. Went to a few wineries. Went to the
Amazing.
RH Wine Vault. We had a great time.
That's amazing.
So it was a good, quick little getaway.
Yeah. Always nice
And-
to get out of town.
yeah.
Always
No.
nice to get on a plane.
Always nice.
I feel like you should always once a year just get on a plane. and go
Multiple times a
somewhere.
year, please.
Multiple times, but at
once
least
does not
you know?
suffice. But so I did that. Had some training at the studio and back at it. You guys are going to see me looking very messy every Monday because I Versa train right before I come here, which means I get very sweaty. I teach class
Yes.
right before I come here.
Literally right before.
And it's crazy. If anyone knows me, I don't sweat, but that class, everything of me is dripping.
Yeah. It's an intense class.
It's intense.
Next time you're down here, Anna, we will do Legree and Versa.
Yep.
I almost passed out with her Versa.
Actually, she took my Legree class. Jackie took my Legree class
I just did her Legree class today before we recorded, but I did a Versa class with her just kind of as like a mock before she taught it for the first time. And I was dying. Like I almost puked a couple times.
You did good.
I was like, like it was intense.
I know. So Jackie took my 5:30 class, so she had time to go back home. And I was like, just stay for the Versa at 6:30. She's like, hell no, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, okay, bye, gotta go. So anyway, and yeah, for me, weekend, super chill. I'm heading out to the East Coast. So I just, like packing laundry, getting ready, just going through all your stuff. How to go to Target, get some things. I love Target. Anna, do you love Target? Right?
Am I a woman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but actually, you know what
though?
though?
Millennial?
Yeah,
I'm a millennial woman, and I actually barely go.
I don't know why. It's the most beautiful thing.
I'm
on
lazy.
Earth.
I love order pickup.
That's true. You do love a good.
Order pickup has saved me like thousands of dollars.
Oh,
like it was probably the worst like business model for Target, but it has saved me a lot of money.
Oh,
so.
It has saved me so much money because I actually only buy what I need to buy. I don't go in there and then walk out with everything but what I needed, like $300 worth. But yeah, so just did that. And then Sana and I hung out on Sunday night with a friend, and her boyfriend, and Sana got taken hostage. So we were just going from place to place, but it was fun. It was nice. I saw a friend, a former coworker, on Sunday as well. So it was a good time,
It's
all
great.
around great weekends.
I'm glad we all had a great weekend. Productive.
All right, well, let's get into it for today. Since we have Anna here, which we're so excited about, literally our ride or die, like our number one fan since day one.
No, it's amazing.
Like, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Truly though, like, can I just quickly say, like, we like not only just appreciate the support, but like it is so encouraging. So like just a shout out, like if you have friends that are pursuing things, like encourage them, be 100%. A supporter. Like, you don't have to be like obsessed with it.
I'm gonna throw a little shade right now because I don't know if I think Anna's one of the few friends that has seen every episode.
Yes. I think she might be the only one. Maybe.
Alicia watches pretty religiously, but I'm gonna throw some shade that some of y'all, you ain't loyal. Anna has watched everyone.
These hoes ain't loyal.
They ain't loyal. She's watched everyone, has questions.
Everything. Yeah. No, but truly, like if you have a friend who's doing something, like support them, encourage them. It does really mean the world to them. Like we don't tell our friends like you have to listen or anything. We're not going to force anybody, but it means so much though. So thank you, Anna. Like formally, like thank you so much for being such a supporter.
And then if
of us.
Anybody else is listening, step it up.
Yeah, and if anyone else, and if you're not doing the same, I hate you.
And go back and rewind.
Yeah, go back and rewind. So no, today's topic, we're happy to have Anna here because you've heard Sana and I discuss kind of in previous episodes, like the idea of marrying young and how that plays out. And I don't know, because we're single. Sana and I, everyone knows that.
We don't have to say it anymore.
We don't have to say it anymore. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Stating the obvious.
Yeah.
And so we thought, you know what? Let's bring Anna on. Anna has a very interesting background, for one. And you may not think so, Anna, but I think so.
Yeah.
But her relationship with her husband, Jay, is their relationship and their marriage is one that I have always admired, I should say. Like they're just like their connection and the way that they just function. I've just always been
It's a little power couple.
Truly though, like truly, I always say like they're two of like my smartest friends. That Jay's my friend. He doesn't know it, but he is. And no, truly,
he's
two of my
also the smart one.
Yeah.
So.
Don't talk about my friend that way, Anna.
Aww.
And anyway, so we thought we would just talk and just actually get someone's true perspective. Because, Sana and I throw around all these opinions.
We throw in a lot of opinions.
We throw in a lot of opinions. But we thought that we would talk to Anna and just kind of get, I don't know, her perspective. She married young and just kind of how that worked out. And they've had a very interesting, kind of ebb and flow to their marriage and relationship. So first of all, how do we know each other, Anna? How all three of us connected?
Well, when you work at a strip club together, you get really close, real quick. So that's where it all started. No, I'm just kidding.
We're secrets are revealing right now.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Caesar, cut the mic. Get her off the screen.
No,
I mean, I wish that were true because we would all be living great right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be, yeah.
Only fans,
everything. We'd be really
Clearly, it
rolling.
wasn't true. So,
No, the real place we met, Nordstrom,
Yes.
with the one and only Jen.
Yeah.
who has been on here.
In the wedding suite.
Mhm.
Yes. Loved that episode. So, I think I was the last to join, or was Nina the last to join?
I think she was after me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember, to be honest.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe Chelsea was the last. I don't.
No. Chelsea was there.
Chelsea
Was there.
Oh,
Trust
man.
me when I say the suite had drama.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all friends, but
boy,
there was a little drama.
There was a little drama, though. It was good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, very good time.
Yeah. So Nordstrom.
We all kind of grew up together.
We did. Yeah.
We did.
Because Anna's between you and I,
Yes.
age-wise.
Yeah.
And she was going through her journey of going to. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah. So talk about it. So talk a little bit about your background. So, yes, we all met through Nordstrom. But how did you even?
Actually, her and I were on the same journey.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
We
School.
were.
She actually did it.
She actually went the distance.
The distance. I went halfway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Anna is a lawyer.
And I think at one point we were studying for the LSAT at the same time.
Yeah, but Anna took it seriously. No, but also fun fact: Anna and her husband are both lawyers,
And they were they did that together.
yes. So
So
yes.
actually, what time?
We
What year?
did.
What age did you get married?
Barely 22.
Wow.
Yeah, so they definitely grew up
22
together.
in a couple months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They moved
Just
around
teeny
together.
tiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys lived in
they
different
can-
areas together.
Yeah. Totally.
We did.
Yeah.
We've been through it all.
So I guess we can just kind of how did you meet Jay? Again, background, how did you meet him? And then kind of the whole lead up to why you guys decided to get married, early 20s.
Yeah, so I met Jay through his brothers, actually. It should have been a really cute,
Me
we met playing laser tag, but I bailed, and so we actually met in a hot tub.
Oh, that
So,
is actually steamier.
Yeah,
Literally.
Yeah, his brothers. I was actually kind of tricked into it because I didn't want to go, but my friend was like, "No one's gonna be there." Surprise! But he was really interesting and fun to talk to, and I just was kind of smitten.
Yeah, you were a smitten.
And then I was planning on moving back to Washington because I was going to go work internationally, and the whole night I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not I don't want to date. I'm not going to be here. I was living in Utah at the time. And so he was like, okay. And then
Wait, how old were you at this point?
21.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 21.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not dating. I'm just I have so much life to live.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added him on Facebook, and
She's like,
he
"But let me see."
messaged me.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, but maybe. And so he messaged me, and we hung out, I think the next day or something. So he was interested in what I had to say about politics. And that really impressed me because all the other guys most of the guys I had dated before were just idiots.
Well, we were young.
We were
Yeah.
just we were young, and I dated a lot of athletes, and then I swore athletes off, and then I married an athlete. But
yeah, that's right.
so he just kind of acted interested in what I had to say, and that now thinking back, I'm like, wow, that's a really low bar. But
He gave me attention, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what, though? It worked out.
Yeah.
It did. And then we just started dating, and we were literally like inseparable at like from day one. I mean, like literally just couldn't get enough of each other. We were together all the time. We had so much fun together. And I was in love.
The rest
Yeah,
is
you were in
history.
love.
The rest is history.
So then, what made you guys decide then, like, actual like marriage? Like, why not just continue dating? Because at this point, what were you both deciding for, like, careers and school and all that stuff?
So I was just going back to school. That was like my first semester going back to school, and he had just served a mission for our church and had just come back from Japan, and he was just getting back into school, and we didn't know really what we wanted to do. I mean, we both kind of knew we wanted to be attorneys, but not,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, no, this is the only way. This is what we're doing. And yeah, so we are both religious, and we didn't want to live together before marriage, and we were young and decided that I mean, it was like love at first sight. I don't say that lightly, because I know that it's very like not super common, but it was like I just knew, and I gave up a lot of my dreams to be with him and to marry him and to move to California to be a young married couple. So, but it just, I prayed about it and it felt right. And that's kind of all I could stand on, I guess, at that point was I loved him and it felt right.
Yeah.
So
kind of like that true, like when you know type of thing. Like you just like knew it in the, like your gut, like your heart and soul that like this was the right man for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And both of us felt that way really, really early on. It was just felt so different.
Instant.
Yeah.
It was instant. So yeah.
We're like, I know you had mentioned like religion, which we might get into because of last week's episode.
Oh, I thought we've moved on.
And how that plays into a relationship.
Wow.
But were there any like cultural or like religious or societal factors that influenced like your guys' choice to get married? Like, you know, and again, not just continue to date.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's pretty common in Christian religions in general that people get married young.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not so much on the West Coast, but in our religion, it was very common for people to get married. Yeah, in back 22, I was like, oh no,
I'm
an old maid.
Yeah.
The cats were coming to your yard.
What is it, like 18, 19?
Yeah, me. I don't know. So
probably like 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Which seems so crazy and young to me, but
yeah.
Now it does.
Yeah. Now it does, yeah.
No,
but
that makes sense.
Just family and just kind of looking back now, I'm like, wow, that was really fast. Obviously, it was like 9 months from like dating to being married.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it was really
that is
fast.
So quick.
I don't think any of us realized it was.
I didn't realize
quick.
it was 9. I'm sure at some point you have told me that, but I don't think that I remember that it was 9 months. So were both parents, both sets of parents and families like in total agreement with it, or did you get some kind of backlash?
So my mom was like, no. Like, and I think it was because my mom had a lot of dreams when she was young and then got married young and didn't like follow her dreams.
Yeah.
And so I had this opportunity to go model internationally, and she really wanted me to take that opportunity. I was really supportive of that. And so when I told her, like, I think I'm going to do something else. And he had said, like, I'll wait for you. You go follow your dreams. Do what you want to do.
That's sweet.
Jay's a great guy.
Like, he is a good guy. He's a very good guy. I'd never say it to his face, but he's wonderful. I'm just kidding.
I love the relationship. It's a very
Yes.
teasing
Oh my
relationship.
God, it's such a teasing relationship. I love it.
Lots of humor. And yeah, it felt right. And I'm a very logical person,
Yeah.
generally, but I can't. Yeah, looking back, I'm like, what were we thinking? But we both felt right, and looking back, it was the right decision.
Right.
Do I recommend that to everyone? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
Which we'll get into, because I'd love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah.
What were like your initial like expectations or like concerns, or did you even have any when you were deciding to get married? Because I also feel like when you're that young, you're kind of just like, I'm in like Elf, like I'm in love and I don't care who knows it, like you don't necessarily like, you're not thinking of okay, well, what are our concerns or what do I expect out of this? Like, were there any, or were you just kind of like, let's go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I had expectations. I knew I wanted a happy marriage, and I knew that I was going, but I think everyone goes into marriage wanting a happy marriage.
Right.
I don't think you go into marriage thinking like, nah, it's probably
I'll roll the
suck,
dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it lasts 5 years, we
It's
got
fine.
a good run.
Yeah, we got a good run. I got my money's worth.
Yeah, I got my money's worth on this ride.
I mean, in certain situations.
Certain situations.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah.
So maybe she's not
Jay
wrong
had
for
like
saying
$80 to his name.
Not you. You guys are young.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I keep telling him. I always tell him I married him for his money. So
$80 richer.
The dollars unseen.
Back then 80 was a lot.
Yeah, it's more than what a lot of people had.
Long time ago.
Okay, so we're at this point where you guys decide to get married. What was kind of going back to the situation with your mom? What was your conversation with her like? Like, how did you navigate that? Being like, no, this is my decision.
It was a bug. It was actually, she had a conversation with Jay, and she was like, I don't want this for my daughter. I don't want her to get married. I don't even remember if she talked to me about it. I think that she liked Jay, and she was like encouraging of it. Of our relationship, but she wasn't like, yeah, get married right away. She was more supportive of like, just go follow your dreams, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen. But you can't tell a 22-year-old what to do, right?
No, but it's funny that you mentioned your mom though, because I feel like my mom has kind of not necessarily done the same thing. I think now she's like, well, I didn't expect you to take it this literally, but like she told me she would always tell me and my sisters like, because she got married very young. She got married when she was 20 and then had a baby at 21. And so she was always very like I think like kind of sad and mournful that she did not get to go and experience life. And she always, wanted to travel and live on her own because she went from, her parents' house to living with my dad and, married. So I feel like when moms have that experience of like they didn't get to have it, they're just like, let me tell you, like,
go have it.
Go have it. Like, do not waste that opportunity. Like, a man ain't everything type of thing. Because that's obviously not the rhetoric that was told to them.
Yeah.
It was like, go get married. That's
this is what you
did.
have to do.
Yeah, that's like what you did. So, interesting that she talked to Jay though. Which like...
Yeah. Oh, my mom is very bold.
It's a good thing. She's got to protect her baby.
Yeah. She's got to do what she got to do.
I do the same thing.
I mean, true. Yeah. So now, we're at this point where you guys are married. And so then you guys move to California.
Yeah. So Jay was like an all-American water polo player in high school and was kind of burnt out and decided he didn't want to play anymore. And so he went to Utah, went to BYU for a year, went on a mission, and then came back and was like, well, maybe I'm not done. And so I was supportive of it, and I was like, yeah, let's move to California, like do what you want to do, let's go. And I was going to school at the time too, and was excited to get to California. And so we moved to California. We did a year. He did a year at a junior college, We both did a year at a junior college. He played for a year there, and then we moved to Long Beach, California, so he could play Division 1. And um, yeah, we that's where we met. Where all of us met, I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we. Now I forgot where I was going. Okay, so we moved.
So you're
to
there.
Long Beach.
So Long Beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved to Long Beach.
And then Jay's going to school because he's playing Division 1 water polo.
Yeah, so we're both going to school. I'm going to a JC at the time because I was getting my generals. So I went to JC up in Northern California, moved to Southern California. I went to 2 JCs so that I could get enough credits so that I could go to Long Beach.
Yeah.
Got into Long Beach, and then I went, I think, 3 semesters there and just kind of like crammed in all of my 3 semesters.
Yeah, I remember
crammed
that.
in all my credits. So
yeah.
And then part of that time, so Jay went to law school a year ahead of me. So then I was living in Long Beach for a semester while he was starting law school in Utah. So we lived apart. And then I moved to Utah and started law school.
That's so much. Like that's so
That
wild.
sounds quick, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't like bing, bing, boom. Like it was.
No.
It took time. So kind of like within that like first like few, I like because they always say like what like the first few years of marriages are the hardest. Like after you kind of get out of that honeymoon phase.
Yeah, but this was already because how old were you when you came to Long Beach? Weren't you like 26, 25, 25?
24?
25, 26, something like that.
24?
Okay, so like
I think I was about to turn 24.
Yeah, so like basically you've been close to being married for 2 years. So were there any challenges that you guys like faced as like a young married couple and just being like just young yourselves and then being in marriage, not just a relationship? Like
Yeah, I mean, I think that we were growing up. We were still kids, and you're still learning to communicate and you're learning to like express your needs, but you can't like get away from this person really because you live with them.
Also, like figuring out how to like support each other's lives.
Yeah.
I think it was nice because we were both kind of doing our thing. Like I was working full time and going to school. He was playing water polo, working and going to school. We were just busy, and so when we had time together, it was like valued, I guess. And we were like best friends. We were best friends in the beginning. We just clicked. We get along well, and we enjoy similar things. So when we were together, we had that bond over similar interests. But we also had our own lives. We weren't only each other's lives. We had other things going on, and I think that really helped that we didn't lose ourselves in those first couple of years. We maintained our goals and our lifestyle, and we didn't have kids for years, and so we just kind of had that time to like get to know each other and grow up together a little bit and enjoy time together. But it wasn't easy. It was definitely
but I mean, I think you both were smart for not bringing kids into the mix when you so early on when you were both trying to figure out your careers, life, everything. And I'm sure that was probably a reason of why it ended up being successful, because I can only imagine the stress of adding kids on top of that would be.
Yeah.
Would be.
And that was always, I had no desire to have children early, so I think that really helped. But now I'm a big advocate of waiting to have children. After at least a few years of marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
Enjoy that time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that probably, it sounds like it made a difference of not like having your guys' own things. You both had lives outside of the marriage. Like, so you like how you said you're not losing who you are. I think that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see like on someone's like Instagram, this is like what I always say, like on their Instagram bio, and they're like wife to so-and-so, like mom to this. And I'm like, you were a whole ass person before you got married, right? Like,
I don't like
well, 100% like I, Christian faith, right? So I do understand like and being a mom and being a wife is truly is something to be valued and cherished. Absolutely.
100%.
Like being a parent in general, but being a mother is one of the greatest jobs you can ever do. But I also really hate when it's just like, this is who I am. And it's like, yeah, but you're more than that. Like you for the first, like, I don't know however old you are, but like 25 years, you weren't that. So like how all of us, like, I know it's a major part of your identity, but like you're still more than that, and
Totally. I agree.
yeah. So I think that that's another portion of it is just like not having kids and not getting sucked into that, and having all your energy be expended there. And then also having to give up, because I mean, let's face it, like if you guys had kids young, like who's going to be the one to sacrifice their dreams? It's going to be you. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
like maybe Jay a little bit, but like probably not, like how
Totally.
oftentimes have we seen
Yeah.
that where it's like,
Well, I think what's impressive with Anna too is you were pregnant during law school.
yes, oh my God, yes, we will get into that because man, oh man, listener, she was pregnant and then I think you and Jay were apart again for a little bit, right?
Mhm.
I swear to God. Yeah, this is why I admire this marriage so much. But
A lot of trials and tribulations.
literally such the ebb and flow of it, but the way that they've been able to navigate it. So then how did you guys manage like responsibilities and like life changes, finances? Like how did that look again being young and then a married couple? I think I always go back to that young because again, being young, you're just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you're not thinking of like retirement and like, what do we want our future to look like? And like, we have to plan for this. Like, you're young, you're just like, let's just spend whatever, or do whatever. So, what did that look like?
Basically, a lot like that. But I mean, we were poor and we were living in California, so a lot of money went to rent and bills and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, there were, I always think back to this one time, and it was my birthday, and something was wrong with my financial aid, and we weren't getting our money, and so we were like we had $16 in the bank account, and like our rent wasn't paid, and I just remember it was my birthday, and my grandparents had sent me like a $25 Visa gift card or like something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, let's go out to eat. So we went to Five Guys and we just laughed and had a good time and we just didn't like worry about anything. And it's one of the most like memorable birthdays and meals I've ever had because I just remember how happy we were together, even though we were so poor and had no idea how we were going to pay our rent. And luckily it all worked out and it was fine and our financial aid came in and we were able to survive. But I think just like finding joy in little things is really important in a marriage and in life. You talked about like sharing responsibilities, and I think a lot of times I feel like in friends relationships or even for myself, you have expectations of like who needs to do what.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing all of this, so you need to do all of this to match what I'm giving. And what I've kind of learned over the years is you need to be able to like accept what that person has the ability to give at the time. And I kind of think about it now where like it's Jay's responsibility to do the dishes. Does Jay do the dishes every night? Absolutely not, because sometimes Jay's working until 9 or 10 at night and I can do the dishes. That's okay.
Right.
Jay finds other stuff to do throughout the day that he can do. But like I can make up the difference. And I think that like counting the numbers can be really, really detrimental to a relationship because if you're focusing on what they're not doing, those are the ticks, right? The numbers they're not making or not doing. And so I kind of look at it as like sometimes someone's 100% is only 30% of what they can like generally give, but that's 100% now because of all these other factors.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really what's gotten us through a lot of like the years is just not counting the numbers and just like accepting what the person can give. And that still
Yeah.
means that each person is giving and like
Right.
really putting in the work, but still not having these expectations. And then when they don't meet those expectations, not getting upset
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of played in throughout our marriage, even now.
Mm. I was gonna say like just the importance of like not keeping score,
Yeah.
I guess, because I think that that's where I mean, you know, you kind of get into that of just like,
Yeah.
well, I did this, what have you done? Um,
Haven't we seen that thing where I think we've talked about where it's like that, well, I'm at 80% today and then
yeah,
I'll take
Brene Brown,
yeah.
who I love, she was talking about that, like kind of how you were saying that, Anna, about like the percentage. And she was saying that her and her husband, they kind of come together and they're just like, look, I'm at 20% right now. Like, and I can't give any more. And so then, you know, whoever kind of understands, like, okay, then I might have to make that up then. Okay, well, then I'm going to be, you know, at the 80, you know, to make up to be 100 or whatever, you know. And then when they both are like, we're both at 20 or we're both at 10, they have to sit down and be like, okay, how do we get through this? And that communication. But I think you're so right as far as just like not keeping score, which I wonder if that is kind of maybe helpful when you are young, because you're just kind of like, hey, let's just, you know, like it's like when you're young with friends, it's like, oh, who cares? Like, we'll do this and we'll do that. You kind of have a carefree attitude.
Oh, I don't know. I also think when you're young, you're way more stubborn and more like
But that,
pissy.
yeah, that's true. I guess it also maybe comes down
I
to
think
personality.
you're more hot-headed. You're more I don't
Or maybe you're more selfish.
yeah.
Yeah. How did that work out between you and Jay? Like, do you ever felt like you guys ran into things of like hitting a wall of like selfishness? Cause that's just natural for being that young, you know? So like,
You know, I can't really think of, I'm trying to think.
make up a story, man. No, just kidding.
She's like, it was perfect.
Well,
No, just
no,
kidding.
no, no, not even. I think about how we're both pretty stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm really like thinking about it, and we're both like things on our way. Um, but yeah, I think, and this sounds so cliche, but it's like communicating your frustrations
Mm-hmm.
and saying like, I'm really frustrated right now, and I am not happy with how this is going. And when you said this, it really like made me mad, and this is how I feel about what you said.
Mm,
And and that's definitely like grown and developed over time.
yeah.
But I've always been a pretty like open person about like how I'm feeling about something.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
remember hanging out with you guys when you were in Long Beach, and there were definitely times where you would be like, Jay, you're making me so mad. And like you were being kind of funny, but you were being serious, you know, or you're like, Jay, like, why did you do that? Like, that made me feel like this. Like, and I always like admired how you were very open, like you both were very open to just say, like, hey, like, you're making me feel this way. Like, can you please stop, you know, or
Yeah.
can you use different words or whatever? But I remember you'd be like, Jay, you're doing this. But you were just being honest. You were just like, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to, you know, sweep it under the rug. I'm not going to be passive aggressive about it, which I think a lot of times as women, I know I get very passive aggressive, you know, and I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't want to be it, but that's just what I default to. I'm working through it. But I always did admire that. But I think that is true of just being able to be very forthright about it. But yeah, I remember you'd be like, Jay. I could hear it in my head right now. It's so funny. And you'd be like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know, but that was something that
Yeah.
I recognized, that I was just like, I admire that. Like, I
and
dig that.
I think that also, sorry to add to that, is you need to be able to like accept and um like receive those feelings from the other person. Like, I don't
Mm,
like that you did that, and realize that it's not like a personal attack on you, but like you can still have feelings and say like, I don't like that you did that. And it's not, I don't like you. It's like, I'm feeling this way and I don't want to feel this way because I don't like feeling this way. I don't know.
right.
Yeah, I think that you should be able to like, and I feel like this is something we've been able to do and work on a lot, but just like trusting your emotions with the person that you're with. And that person, if they love you and they care about you, they should want you to be happy as well and
Yeah.
accept those emotions that
Yeah.
you're sharing and those feelings you're sharing.
No,
Completely.
totally. I completely understand that. It's one of those things of like, you want a partner that will keep your heart safe
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah,
and that will protect it and like values it as much as they value their own. You know, it's kind of it. There's no one's higher type of thing.
Yeah.
totally.
And so like I feel like that was kind of getting into some of like, because I feel like again like there can be a lot of people will sit there and say, well, there's a negative like you didn't like, do you ever feel that you like didn't get to like experience quote unquote your 20s, which everyone says, or have the typical experiences that a 20 something year old has, you know, or just traveling or doing whatever? Do you ever feel like you lost out on that being marrying young?
Yeah, I mean, I think that whatever you do with life, you make sacrifices, right? Whatever choices you make, there's always going to be a sacrifice. And I think that I really tried to like have experiences, but
Mhm.
also, yeah, I didn't have the dorm room experience. I
Mhm.
didn't have the Tinder or the like app dating experience.
You're not
And
missing out.
Or just
I
being
know you say
single.
that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just
Or
being
just
single.
being single.
Or just traveling, whatever, you
yeah,
know?
traveling. I didn't go to Europe until just this year, you know.
Mhm.
We were too poor. We haven't had money to do that until later on. And you know, I had to give up things
Mhm.
and make choices to follow him and go to Long Beach and not that that was really like a huge sacrifice because I enjoyed Long Beach a lot, but
Yeah.
it was definitely for his like
Goals. Yeah.
goals. And I was just kind of following along for the ride. So yeah, I definitely missed out on like, I mean, I was fortunate enough that like I moved out when I was 17 and was on my own after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And so I lived in New York, I lived in Utah, I lived in Washington, I lived all over. And so I did get to experience a lot of things that I feel like maybe I most people my age don't experience or didn't experience at 22. But still, I did miss out on, you know, a lot of things,
Yeah.
those fun things, and I it sometimes would envy that like freedom.
Mhm.
And I don't like using the word freedom because I was never not didn't have freedom, but
Right.
just you know those like I still had a husband at home to go home to, even though we were out at the bar in Long
Oh
Beach
my
or
God,
the
yes.
club in San Diego. Like you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are good
you
times.
know, they were very good times. But they that still like limited my social
Yeah.
Yeah.
abilities, you know, that kind of thing. To
Yeah. No, that
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like we've talked about, Son and I, like on the pod, and just like, and that's why it's interesting to talk to you who's actually experienced it, you know, and just like, oh, because I think we look back on our experiences and we're just
Hmm.
like, oh, we're so grateful we had our 20s and we
Yeah.
had all that time. But that kind of brings me, I think, to the next point of just kind of like, what do you feel are like the characteristics then of somebody who like should like, I don't want to say like should and shouldn't get married young, but I guess kind of, for lack of a better way of explaining it, like what are the attributes that I think that you need? Like if you're like this type of person, don't do it. Like it's not going to work out.
yeah. I you know if you're really like selfish and you don't want to like share your space or decisions, obviously don't get married young.
Yeah.
Um, I think that for for me, it was just kind of like a I didn't really know what I wanted, so I was just
Mm,
going with the flow. I mean, I knew what I wanted, but I also was like had other plans.
Hmm.
But if you're like, no, this is what I'm doing, this is what my plans are, and that's your like steadfast in those goals, then don't make that decision and give up those goals if it means getting married, because it definitely does change your life and it changes the decisions you make.
Yeah.
If you're with a partner who isn't willing to support you and support your dreams and has certain expectations that you don't feel like are what you want, then absolutely don't get married. You don't want to be like cornered into this life that you didn't want. I think back to like previous relationships before Jay and the life I would have had if I had ended up with one of the other people I was with, and just how different and how unhappy I would probably be, because I probably would have been having babies at 22 years old, and had those expectations on me from outside sources. So I think that if you have someone who's willing to support your dreams and support where you want to go and what you want to do, and you feel like you guys can do that together, I think that that's a recipe for success. But there are so many factors. I don't really recommend it.
Yeah, like,
to be honest.
Yeah, like
I'm really grateful for my marriage, and I feel like it's really wonderful. And I'm like, but I also recognize that it's probably not the norm for young couples. But I also see, I mean, my brother and sister-in-law got married young, and they are happy. They don't have any kids, but they've been married, and they, are traveling the world together. She's a flight attendant. And so they get to have all these fun opportunities and experiences together, and they're doing great. And so I think that you can make it work, definitely. I don't recommend having kids early to anybody. That's kind of where I
I think it would
draw
have changed things for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%. I would not be where I am today if I had a baby young.
Yeah, because
it would have been very, very, very hard.
I was going to say it would have been very difficult because it was already like, because I remember when you guys were in Long Beach, like there was a point where you were the only one working. Like you were the breadwinner because Jay had water polo, and like Division I is like very demanding. And then he was going to school. Like I remember when he was studying for his LSAT, like, and all that stuff. But like you guys had one car. And like if you had to go to work, like he just didn't have a car that day. Like
rode the bus or took his bike.
Yeah. No, I remember that. And but I could only imagine, like, because it was already difficult. It was already hard. And
totally,
and you had to express that at times where it's just like, yeah, but like we're doing it because like you kind of know your end goals. But God, if there was a kid like involved.
Well, I think that's why it worked so well, is they both stayed so focused, and it didn't like change the goals.
Right.
I feel like there are couples that come together and you become very complacent and just don't grow.
Yeah.
You guys grew together and didn't stay focused on what the bigger picture was.
Yeah.
Most people, I feel, at that age would not have the strength, the focus, everything to get it done.
Yeah, the selflessness to do it because okay, so then like because then he graduates Long Beach and he's a year ahead of you at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he graduates and then he goes to BYU Law. So then you guys are then apart, living apart for how long?
4 months.
Yeah.
I graduated early, a semester early, so that I could go out and be there. So yeah, I was living alone in Long Beach with my 2 dogs, working, going to school, studying for the LSAT.
Yeah.
He was in law school writing his we were living in my grandparents' basement to save money, and he would ride his bike in the snow from my grandparents' house to the train, take the train down. I mean, it was a big sacrifice for him. But I needed the car, so we made it work.
Yeah.
We were so poor.
I mean, the stories are like, see where you guys are both so successful now.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
happy family.
Yeah. No, but like that's wild though. And I think that does kind of magnify your point of you have to be selfless and you have to truly be supporting one another.
Yeah.
Because it will not work. Like, it just absolutely won't. And I think that's why I kind of agree with like not encouraging people because I don't because
This is not the norm.
It's not the norm.
It's
You
the
guys are the
anomaly.
exception, not the rule. And I think you and Jay are just certain brands of people. Like you've always just you just had a good head on your shoulders. Like you both like have been like, okay, like we kind of like know what we're gonna do. And you were, I think, just very similar in that nature. Which is, I feel like, another reason why it worked. Because if, like, either one of you were like, let's go do whatever and let's just fly by the seat of our pants, I don't know if that would have worked. But you both were determined. And you were like, no, we figured out we both want to be attorneys. This is what we want to do. We're going to go to BYU Law. We've already set it up. Like, this is what we're working towards. I feel like you guys have always had goals that you're working towards and then working towards together.
Yeah. And stayed on it, though. That's the big, it's so easy at that age to, like, fall off and on.
Yeah.
And,
like, well, this is what I was going to do. And then... Never mind.
It's impressive that they, with everything that
I think I'm just like super competitive. So like Jay did it first, so then I was like, oh, I have to do it.
If he did it, I could do it.
Yeah, he could do it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I better be able to do it.
No, so then, because I really do think your journey is fascinating. And then, so then 4 months after, so what was it even like navigating those 4 months of being apart? Like...
Yeah, I mean, I was busy studying for the LSAT and Jay was in his first year of law school, so he was crazy busy and we just FaceTimed every day and texted all day long and I was busy. We were both busy, so and I would trying to think. I think I would like go out on weekends that I could. But we had our 2 dogs, so I couldn't really like leave all the time. And it was only 4 months. So it was,
you knew it was coming to an end.
It went by fast. Yeah. It wasn't like this indefinite time.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then I joined him and started a semester later in law school.
Yeah. So then you start law school, because this is what Sana brought this up, that you were pregnant during law school. And so technically I have been to BYU Law because I sat in one of her classes.
Okay.
And it was very fascinating. So technically I have attended BYU Law.
Okay.
And it was, the class I remember was about the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law, which was very fascinating.
Boy.
So I paid attention. I probably should have gone to law school with you. But anyway. So, okay, so you guys are there and, again, you're both going to school and you both are not working. You both are just going to school at this time, right? That's right.
Yeah, because they don't let you really work in law school generally.
I feel like there's
no
way.
Time.
Yeah, there's like no time.
Yeah.
So then he graduates. How far in advance than you?
He graduated a year before me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had my son, Weston, in 2018, January 2018. Jay graduated from law school April 2018. And then he moved to California, to the Bay Area for a job in August of 2018. And I was still going to law school and we had our son. My mom moved in with us for like a semester. I took a bunch of credits and then I was able to do my last semester in California.
Yeah.
So through like a law clerk position and law review and a couple other reasons, I was able to finagle a couple more credits.
Yeah.
So I commuted back and forth between Utah and California almost every weekend.
And a mom.
Yeah, and a new mom.
With my son.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's insane.
And then got to the Bay Area and wasn't doing that anymore, thank goodness.
Yeah. So again, what was that like? Again, being apart for the second time. How long were you guys apart though?
Yeah, now this time's even harder.
Yeah.
It was just a semester, and luckily we had more money, so I was able to
Mm,
fly back and forth with my son. I did my schedule, so I only had classes like Monday night through Thursday morning.
mm,
So I would fly in Monday morning and then fly out Thursday night generally,
mm.
and then I was there in California on the weekends. And that was from August to December,
Jeez,
and then in December I moved
that's
to
wild.
California. Yeah.
Also, listener, her pregnancy was not easy. You had what's the one that Kate Middleton has? That's how I remember it. The
It's it's called hyperemesis gravidarum. And it's basically I describe it as like uh food poisoning your whole pregnancy. It just feels like you're like, yeah,
yeah.
food poisoning to like the flu
Oh my God.
symptoms.
And you're in school.
Yeah.
Superwoman
Yeah, it
over
was
here.
pretty miserable.
Oh God.
I would have been like, I'm done.
So miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and that's the thing is I think it's just like kind of going back to that question of like who should get married when you're young. Like you have to be a very strong person because there are so many, and I think you can attest to this, Anna, that there were so many unknowns.
Yeah.
There were so many unknowns that you and Jay were both going into and not knowing what this was going to look like, but just being like, well, we
You got to make it happen.
we got to make it happen. We got to make it work. But I think, and this sounds super cheesy, but it's kind of like, well, our foundation truly is like we love one another, like, and a true love, right? Like that selfless love that is just like I'm for you, you're
Yeah.
for me, we're both for each other and for our future family. Like we know what we're doing because. I mean, how did you even see that coming? You couldn't, of experiencing that pregnancy. Jay's not totally there, because of job, and then going through law school, the final like legs of it, which is like insane.
Yeah, I think that it was, yeah. And to me, it's like, that's just, you just keep going on.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as, you do what you have to do, right?
Keep
And I think
pushing.
that
Yeah.
everyone does what they have to do. Everyone has challenges. Everyone gets thrown in these crazy situations that they don't plan. They couldn't have foreseen. Everyone goes through things, and you just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many times when I'm like, oh, I couldn't do what they did. And yet they do it. They just keep going. And I think that that's human nature, and we
True.
are better than we think we are. So
Yeah.
When you're in certain situations, you just have to push through.
Yeah, you just push through. I think that's also the resilience and strength of a woman.
Yeah.
You just do it. Like I think that that's something, and not to discount men in any way, because I know that there's
it's okay.
I know there's a lot of men that have done that as
Yeah.
well, but I think there's just something about within a woman that we just do it.
I agree.
I don't know what it is, but we just push through,
I agree.
and we're just like, we'll deal with the emotions and the craziness of it later.
Yeah.
But right now,
This
the
is what I
situation
gotta do.
at hand, I have to do this. And then you just do it. And then also being a mother, I think that there's something that kicks in there too,
and I have
right?
to
You're
take care
like,
of this baby.
I gotta take care of this baby. Like this is my child. Like I maybe even pushing through for them. Like, but there's just such a resilience in women and a strength
There is.
in women that I that really is kind of, I don't know, not talked about enough. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of wild. So I think
agree
that
on
really
that.
shone through too. Because I mean, I think about
I
it, I'm
always
like,
joke that the population would be extinct if men were in charge of having babies because they couldn't handle it.
I agree on that though. I
I do
agree
too.
because they can't handle pressure like that. It's one thing and it's like,
yeah. I mean, you see,
Oh, yeah.
you see what it is when a man is sick. Like they have to blow their nose and they're like, oh my God. Like they're just so whiny. And you're like,
he's
"You have a
laughing.
cold."
Caesar's laughing. He's like, I know.
He knows.
He knows. Caesar
They
knows.
all know.
They're like such babies when it comes to that stuff. But yeah. No. So really quickly, what are your guys' future plans and aspirations as a couple? Like, what are you guys hoping for the future? You've been through all of that.
Yeah. Now they're just
Yeah,
cruising.
Now you're just cruising.
Trying. Yeah, so I'm actually not working right now. I'm doing the full-time mom thing. But applying to jobs right now to go back. And Jay's super, super supportive and wants me to follow my dreams
I
and is
love
like,
Love
that.
that.
I'll go wherever you go.
Yeah.
Let's just get you following your dreams. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. We have two little boys who are just awesome and keep me on my toes. And, motherhood is really hard, and being a stay-at-home mom is really hard. And
But
I feel like I've lost a lot of my like identity in it. And I feel like I really admire moms who are just like take it on and they are able to just do it. And I feel like I'm a better mom when I'm working. Um, and so I'm really excited to get back to work. And
Yeah.
obviously I'm sad because I think about things I'll miss.
Yeah.
But there are so many working moms that I admire who do it all.
Yeah.
And there's and women can do it all.
Absolutely.
The
So
resilience.
Yep.
we should do it all.
Absolutely. You should do what you want to do.
What we want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a woman's place is wherever she makes it. So,
agree.
if you wanted to be in the home and in the office, more power to you, man. You do
Yeah.
you. Absolutely. But yeah, that strength, that resilience.
Insane.
Thank you so much, Anna, for coming on. Thank you
It was so good.
Yes, thank you for your support. Thank you for your perspective. We loved chatting with you tonight. It was super fun. We hope you had fun too.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I feel so honored when you asked me. I was like, me? I went
Of
to tell Jay,
course,
I was like, he asked me to be on his
you were
podcast.
eventually going to be on it. We go through our people.
Yeah, we go through our people. We're just like, all right, like let's go through.
Who's the right fit right now?
Yeah, because we have honestly, just so we have such interesting friends, and everyone's story is valid and interesting, and everyone has perspective, and that's what we love. That's what we love to bring to the
real
pod.
people,
real people, real stories,
real people, real stories.
But we love you, Anna. It's so good to see your face. We miss you so much.
Next time you have to come to the studio.
Yeah, next time it'll be in person.
Yes,
it'll have to be.
Yes. Not in my old childhood room with the amazing lighting that I tried to set up.
We'll do it here.
No, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it live and in person. But but thank you for coming on, and listener, thank you for tuning in as always. You know where to find us: Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts.
YouTube.
If
you want to watch us.
Yep. TikTok.
But lately, please don't watch us anymore.
Instagram.
Please.
Yeah, don't watch me.
I'm not looking my best
like, don't
these
look at
days.
me.
Don't watch anymore.
You both are gorgeous.
Just
No,
listen.
Just listen. It's fine.
My voice just soothing. Picture me how you need to.
Picture me however you want to.
Yeah.
Whatever the picture you come up with in your imagination is better than what's being presented.
Yeah, me,
JK. All right. Well, again, thank you, Anna, for coming on.
Yes,
and
really
listener, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes, Big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
We're turning 50.
Oh my God. 15 fabulous. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.